Hey guys, Ryan here. We are going to be reviewing pretty much how to just build a hypervisor using Proxmox, Vmware, or VirtualBox. If you guys just want to get right into the configuration of things, you can go ahead and skip to the video. I'll leave a link, and then we can get started that way. For those of you who want to learn more about what a hypervisor really is, there's type 1 and type 2. I'm going to be going through pretty much an educational portion of how it works, how to really fully understand what it's doing, and all that fun jazz about, starting your first lab here. But to take you through a type 2 hypervisor, I'll just be drawing you guys a picture. I think it's the easiest way to understand it. So first we have this lovely box here. And let's pretend that this is your computer, so PC. And this PC can be a laptop, desktop, server, it doesn't really matter, it's just the hardware. Then inside of this lovely box is going to be your operating system, OS. So we'll call that, I don't know, Windows 11. Okay, and then inside of Windows 11, you will have your hypervisor. It'll be type 2. And what this means is that inside of Windows, you will basically install a piece of software that will be able to run a virtual machine. So you'll have your virtual machine inside of here. You can have multiple, not just one. It just depends. For an example of all of this, you would download something like VirtualBox, and VirtualBox looks just like this. And you would pretty much hit new, and we can go through the whole setup for creating a virtual machine. And that's about it for hypervisor type 2. Now, hypervisor type 1 is a little bit different. We have kind of the same deal. You got your first box, and this is gonna be your hardware. And this is going to be your computer. So again, your PC, laptop, a desktop, server, really anything, as long as it can run as a computer. So as your motherboard and the basic hardware. And what you're gonna do is, instead of installing the operating system for Windows and then going from there, you're gonna install something called a hypervisor type 1. And the hypervisor will sit right here. Voila. And let's draw another box. And then inside of the hypervisor, you will have VM, and a VM, and a VM, and a VM. That's really it. This technically would be like your hypervisor host. You can also have clusters, which technically means you have multiple hosts that are clustered, and then you can have the multiple VMs and they all talk to each other. But we can get into that some other time. This is pretty much your explanation of exactly how this all works. And from here, this is pretty much just a hypervisor type 1. And those examples would be things like ESXi, which is VMware, or Proxmox, which I'll probably be doing for most of my labs since it's the free version, and everybody that does like home labbing always loves the free stuff. It also works so similar that you can pretty much apply all of the theory from working on Proxmox to working on VMware, because most companies, when you're actually working for businesses and such, will typically use VMware, most of them that I know of. I think I've worked for 4 companies now, and all 4 companies had some kind of VMware hypervisor. And usually they're put on these giant server racks. You throw the hypervisor on there and you have a host, and then you start creating your virtual machines. And now, without further ado, we shall be actually doing this. All right, to get started with this, we're gonna need a few pieces of software. Number one is going to be Rufus. And pretty much all Rufus is doing is taking your ISO and converting it to a bootable drive. I guess in short, it would be get a USB, you plug your USB in, you run Rufus on the ISO that we will pull in a second, I will show you. And that will make it so when you plug a USB into another computer or a device, it will boot up using the USB. Now, the second thing we're going to, of course, need is the ISO that we're going to be converting into a bootable drive. I will be posting both of these links in the description so you can easily get to them. And we're just going to go ahead and download both of these. All right, now once you guys got these two things downloaded, I'll show you how this works. So you're going to grab a USB. Typically, you would want something between 32 and 64 gigs to make sure you have enough space for it. And then you can go ahead and either right click and format, or Rufus actually does the formatting for you. So you go ahead and launch Rufus up. I'm going to select the device. I'm not going to rename it because I'm a little lazy. So we'll go in here and get to desktop. Please ignore all the games and find your ISO, open. And here we are. And all it is you press start. Okay. Now it's going to start reformatting the USB. And I'll come right back to this video when it's done. All right, guys. So now that this has ended up completing, I'm actually going to opt out of using an actual device and use something like this, which is hypervisor. Now, the biggest thing is I am going to be mounting the ISO. So it's going to look a little different than if you were actually use the USB as a boot drive. Just keep in mind, when you do use the USB as a boot drive, it's going to delete your current operating system on the computer. So please do not use your personal computer. It will end up wiping it. Use a different device, a laptop server, and so on. So I went ahead and made this. And we mounted the ISO. And when you boot up with your USB, you'll see the same screen, or of course you can use a hypervisor for this. So we're gonna go ahead and hit the graphical installer here and let that do its thing. It looks like, just keep in mind that in your BIOS, you may need to enable your virtualization settings. Since this is a virtual machine, we could probably do that another way, but on a normal computer, you just have to go into your CPU settings somewhere in the BIOS, and every BIOS is different. So the setting might be in different places, and just find that virtualization setting and turn that on. So just keep in mind, these things are what you're going to want to know and remember. To get to your Proxmox portal, you're going to need your IP address. Okay, make sure you copy this, put it somewhere you'll remember so you can get there. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and install this, and we'll see you in a second. This is it. This is where we got to. And all this means is that Proxmox was installed. It's sitting on this hypervisor, which is technically just a piece of hardware. Hopefully you would have this screen on either your desktop computer, PC computer, or server, whichever one you decided to install that USB. And this is the end result. So we can go ahead and punch in this IP address, which I got from DHCP. I'll do that now. This is where we get to. So typically your default username will be root, and then the password is whatever you typed in during the setup process. Apparently I didn't do it correctly. Very nice. You can ignore that. Don't need a subscription. And that's it. From here, we're just going to be creating all of our labs, our VMs, our virtual machines, servers, and all the things that I plan to do on this channel. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have questions or concerns. There are little tedious settings that you might need to switch on and off, like virtualization. If you plan on doing it through a different hypervisor or planning on doing it through a server or computer, you have to do the BIOS settings, which of course I didn't go over in this video. But let me know if you have any problems. I'd be happy to help. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good one.